Hey kids, welcome back to the channel. Today is Sunday, June 13th, 2021. And if you clicked on this video, first of all, I think you're amazing. The reason I think you're amazing is because out of all the garbage content you could be watching on YouTube, you choose to look for something that might be informative rather than trying to see what the Kardashians are doing or some other BS that you just don't need in your life. You are choosing to try to increase your knowledge about what's going on. And hopefully I'm able to provide that to you today. But whether or not I am, I just want to acknowledge that at least you're a knowledge seeker, and I admire that in you. So please, I implore you, hit like and subscribe. Help me grow the channel. I'm really trying here. And if this endeavor indeed proves itself to be unsuccessful, it will not be from my lack of trying or my insistence on proceeding regardless of my low viewer ratings. I'm moving forward, kids. I'm going to keep preaching. Eventually someone's going to listen. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Like and subscribe if you have a soul. Thank you. What? Was that too much? Mm-hmm. You looked at me like that might have been too much. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna reveal some really hard things, to accept about the real estate market in this video. So if you're a realtor, I always do it on, yeah. If you're a realtor, if you're a real estate investor, if you're just interested in what's going on with real estate, and really that includes all of us, right? Because all of us either have a home, are aspiring to purchase a home, lost a home trying to get back on our feet, whatever the case. Real estate kind of interests everybody. So I'm about to reveal some really big truth bombs in this video. 3 primary truth bombs and one kind of extra bonus at the end. So stick around and let's get right into it. Here we go on why the real estate market is beginning to crash. Even though the media is not saying anything about it, you can look at any realtor, they'll tell you, well, now's a great time to buy, especially if it doesn't matter if the prices are elevated. What? Why not? Why doesn't it matter if the prices are elevated? Well, because you see, if you're going to be there for 30 years, it's still going to even out, so it just don't matter, really? Okay, let's go with that logic, right? That's a real estate agent telling you that crap. Anyways, before I jump into the 3 big clues that the real estate market is starting to turn, let me have my wife set the 10-minute timer, because I want to keep these videos within a 10-minute ratio, a 10-minute time frame, if you will. All right, babe, did you make the chime, the timer chime, did you make it masculine? Uh-huh. I really don't believe you. That wasn't a convincing uh-huh. That was kind of like a wait and see, sucker. Okay. If it's a feminine chime, I'm really going to come unglued. But whatever. I'm comfortable enough with my masculinity that I'll work through it, I'm sure. Anyways. Okay. Are you ready? Truth bomb number 1. Oh, wait. I gotta go to the internet, and I don't want to make myself disappear like I did last time. So I may have to get you on camera to come over here and make sure that you do this correctly, because I am just terrible at this. But let me see if I can do it on my own. I'm not saying you gotta come on right now. Although the audience, I can feel, they're just dying to see you. They're dying to get you involved, and I'm trying to pull her this way, but she's giving me a lot of resistance. Okay. Here we go. Let's see if I can do it, babe. This is where I kind of get, now you think I'm on. You think I'm on there, right? She believes that you can still see me, so I hope you can. The first key when we're looking at what's happening in the real estate market would be to look at mortgage applications. Like, we need to know, what are mortgage purchase applications? What are mortgage purchase applications? Those are people applying for a new mortgage, okay? New purchase index, like these are people that are going to buy a house. So we're going to look at that first. But before we do, and before I delve into this, I take a deep dive into what's going on in the real estate market. I want to preface everything I'm about to cover with this. You are going to see people asking, or people paying rather, way over asking price in certain areas. Especially luxury homes are still going to get way over asking price for quite a while to come. If you have a house that's in an area of high demand, you're still going to see people paying above asking price for quite a while. These indicators that I'm about to show you are just indicators of what's to come. It's like a preview. Here's what's happening now, but here's what's coming ahead. I'm about to show you what's coming ahead. So mortgage applications are a really good indicator of what's coming ahead, okay? And by ahead, I could mean within the next 3, 6, or 12 months. That's what's coming. Guess what's happened with people trying to get new mortgage loans, okay? Guess what's happened with new mortgage applications? They've tanked. They've tanked. Well, how far down have they tanked as of 6/4? Well, look at 6/4. It's pretty much equivalent to 2019. They have dropped down to 2019 levels. So we see this huge bubble here where they really spiked, really spiked, and now they're back down to 2019 levels. Okay, so that's one clue about where things are headed. Sometimes I feel like when I'm like going through this, I feel like I'm just, maybe it's because there's nobody here. Like I'm speaking to a camera in an empty room. I've got my beautiful wife here, but outside of that, it's like, I feel like maybe it's falling on deaf ears. Especially when I see my views, I'm like, oh shit, it is falling on deaf ears for sure. Listen, you think you got a good real estate agent? You got a good real estate agent? Ask them. Just ask them this. Hey, what's your opinion on just mortgage applications? What do you think of the current rate of mortgage applications? Ask them that question. You know what they're going to tell you? Your realtor's going to not have a clue. Because real estate agents don't delve into the minutia like this. They don't look at, and this isn't even the minutia really. This is just the basic information about what the real estate market is doing. But it doesn't matter. Your average real estate agent doesn't pay attention to this crap. And I challenge anybody out there watching this to ask them, hey, what's your opinion on the current decrease on mortgage applications? What do you think that says for the market? You know what you're going to get? You're going to get a bunch of probably, my guess is, baloney. A bunch of kind of trying to duck and dodge your question because they really have no idea what the current rate of the mortgage applications are. They have no clue. I guarantee you. Now, if you have a really good real estate agent that is on top of their game, they might know, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. And they're just going to tell you, it's always a great time to buy. Great time to buy. Okay. You think I went on enough about that? That was probably 5 minutes right there, right? I got to move on. Okay, here we go, kids. Second tool to see where the housing market is going. What are you pointing at? Oh gosh, I didn't click it. That's all right. Guess what? U.S. housing starts. Oh no, they're going to kill me with ads. Don't kill me with an ad. That's funny to you. Look, U.S. housing starts near 15-year high. Near a 15-year high. Listen, you know what a U.S. housing starts, like what do they represent? That represents shovels in the ground. People building homes right now. That doesn't come to fruition. That doesn't like meet its full cycle for another 12 months, typically. I mean, if you got a smaller development, you're looking at 6 months, but 6 to 12 months, housing, U.S. housing starts, we're at a 15-year high, as guess what's happening? We just went over this. Mortgage applications are declining back to mid-2019 levels. So when you see these things converging, maybe that's not so good. Well, am I exaggerating, love? Mm-hmm. I am? Let me delve further into this article to see if I'm exaggerating. And I'm not gonna like pick and choose. I'll just go to like the very beginning of the paragraph. U.S. home building surged to nearly a 15-year high in March. Okay, so I just told you it takes 6 to 12 months. So in March, we were at a 15-year high. Fast forward 6 months, 12 months, March 2022, all that supply bum rushes the market. What's going to happen? I mean, these aren't small increases we're talking about. These are significant increases that we're talking about. And to illustrate that point, I just want to point this out. Starts soared 37% on year-over-year basis in March. 37%, kids. Do you know how much that is? I mean, it's astronomical. When all that supply hits the market, what happens when supply just saturates any market? The demand is met, and then once the demand is met and you still have an oversupply, prices do what? I don't want to speak down to my audience. I hate people that do that. I'm not speaking down to anybody. I just want to make that clear. I know most of my audience is smart enough to already know this shit is not good for anything. I mean, the real estate market, we're being told is, oh, it's all great. We're going to go up. No, it doesn't just keep going up, kids. Markets are cyclical, and that does not exclude the housing market. What goes straight up, if you look at, I mean, that's graphs 101, right? I mean, that's if you just study any market and you see on a graph where the market just shoots straight up, guess what happens next? It comes straight down. Everybody knows that. So it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You keep nervously looking at your phone, and I know there's a timer about to go off. Is that what the deal is? Yeah. Oh crap, it's about to go off. I've only made it through 2 of these articles. Can you tell I'm a little wound up? I'm wound up because we're being lied to. And I hate it. I hate that the average American is being lied to right now and being walked in to a $400,000 loan on a $200,000 tract home. A home that's only worth That's the chime? Mm-hmm. It sounds like X-Files. That does not help provide legitimacy to my message. That does sound like X-Files. At least it wasn't real fairy-ish, huh? Mm-hmm. By the way, there's nothing wrong with being a fairy. It's just not for me. Was that a Seinfeld episode? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying. Okay, listen. 37% year over year in March. March of 2022. You know what? As a side, I could just mention this real quick because now I'm trying to move things along. So real quick, I just want to mention this. Guess what happens? Everybody knows. I know the majority of the audience knows. The gig is up. Okay? The gig or is it the jig? I'm not sure which one it is. Huh? I'm sure someone will correct me. It's actually, hey, lowdown, it's actually the jig is up. Or is it the gig is up? Hey, the gig is up. Guess what? No more forbearance on foreclosures at the end of this month. But you don't just like kick someone out of the house like immediately. That's not how it works, and most of you know that. How it works is now we've got to go through the courts and we have to go through the legal process and get that house foreclosed on. Most banks are going to try to work with people that can actually are employed and have a means of actually paying. But the people that are over 90 days past due on their mortgage right now, it's estimated at 2.25 million. So even if they worked it out, like we did a loan modification, and I said modification. They did a loan modification. They did a loan modification, and you're still laughing about it? That's kind of crazy. Anyways, that person stayed in their home. They were able to stay in their home. That's 1 million. But there's still half of those that you weren't able to work out a loan modification on. So that's 1 million homes hitting the market. And I would gather that this government, this administration is going to do everything they can to ensure that not all of those homes hit the market at the same time. Keep in mind what I just went over on new home starts hitting, what did I say, March of 2022? Do you see the convergence of what's coming? I would gather to say you're not going to see home prices plummet overnight. That's not how real estate works. And anyone that suggests it does, they're just dead wrong. But we're going to start seeing significant decreases in home prices within 2022. In fact, I would say by the first quarter of 2022, you're going to start to see significant drops in home prices. By the third quarter of 2022, things are going to start to look interesting. Very interesting if you're hoarding your cash on the side, waiting to purchase, waiting until all this hysteria goes away. And it will. This hysteria is limited, trust me. Okay, the third aspect of the housing market that we're going to look at to really try to gain insight to where this whole thing is headed. Are you ready? What's the third key you should be looking at? But before I move forward, I just want a friendly reminder. If you have a real estate agent you're working with and you're looking to buy right now, ask them, just ask them, hey, what's your opinion on U.S. housing starts being at a 15-year high? How is that going to affect the market? See what they say to you. Are they informed? Do they even know that we're over a 30% year-over-year increase? Like, do those words come out of their mouths? Are they aware of that? Give them some trivia. Like, this is their business. They should know this crap, right? But no, everything's rainbows and butterflies. It's the perfect time to buy. Just give me your money. Here we go. This is the one that gets missed. And it hasn't been updated recently because the numbers are too hard to quantify, really. Because I just want to preface this next part with this. Do you know what the best cure for insane, over-the-top housing prices is? Like, if you're like, housing prices are just way too high. Well, that's the best cure right there. That's what it is. Elevated prices are the best cure for elevated prices. They will eventually bring a reckoning, did I say that? feel like I slurred it a little. Did I slur that? They will bring a reckoning to the housing prices. They just will. And here's the reason why. What we've seen after the health crisis, we've seen a bunch of really people that they weren't necessarily rich, but they had homes that were overvalued. Whether it was their home was overvalued in California, their home was overvalued in New York or New Jersey, anywhere that home prices were near like a big metropolis where people all of a sudden were trying to flee. Okay, these people, what they did is they moved up their move date. Well, okay, we're going to leave now. We're going to sell now. So they sell their, this is crazy, I know, but it's true. Trust me. Their 1,700 square foot home in California for $1 million. And now they come to places like my home state, Arizona, and they can buy a damn mansion for $600,000. Okay? So I knew that migration was going to be temporary, and it can't last. Why can't it last? Well, because there's only so many people willing to overpay for real estate in California. It comes at a certain point, people are like, wait a minute. I'm not buying this property in Venice Beach where you've got bums living in tents and RVs right off the beach. I can't walk out my mansion. I can't walk out of my house without dodging human excrement on the sidewalk and bums and crime and violence and all that. Who do you think is going to continue to buy those homes? Nobody. But people don't, the lack of critical thinking is astonishing. Here it is. If you want to know where home prices should be, the only thing that you should do if you're a realtor, if you're a real estate investor, just if you're an average intelligent individual like looking to purchase, look at what is the average annual income of the community and what is the average home price. If those two are way out of balance, so home prices are really high compared to the average annual income, well, that's not sustainable. Over a period of time, it will even out. Okay, especially when supply begins to saturate the market. Now all of a sudden you got a ton of supply and a ton of people who can't afford the homes. So what happens to home prices? Nobody looks, I shouldn't say nobody, smart people do, but third point, ask your realtor, hey, what do you think of the housing market? Are we headed for a crash? Like, if you can't tell me, hey, I want you to find us a home in this area. Can you tell me what the annual income is compared to the average home price? Ask your realtor that. That's the third thing you should ask your realtor. I guarantee you, your realtor will not be able to hit all three of these because they're probably average. What, is that cruel? Mm-hmm. I don't mean to be cruel. I'm just like, these are the things that they're not looking at. You've got to be your own expert. And we use the term expert so loosely, right? Like all these people claim to be experts. I see people on Facebook all the time. Well, I'm a realtor, I've been a realtor, or I've been a real estate investor for 30 years. And I've developed properties. I've done this and I've done that. Oh, that's good for you. But when it comes down to the brass tacks, are you looking at the data? Because if you're not looking and analyzing the data, then you don't know crap. You're just going with the narrative of whatever the media is pushing out. And the media is pushing out this huge fake recovery that just is non-existent. Here's my final prediction. I know I went way over my 10 minutes. I'm comfortable with that if you are. You're not comfortable with that. She's shaking her head now. I'm going to get her on camera. I swear, next week she's going to be on camera. Hold on. Let me bring it back to center. Let me see if I can do it, because I really am starting to doubt my own ability to bring it back to center. It's like I've lost my ability to navigate the stupid computer. Do you think that's working now? You do? Okay. Kids, I'm so glad you made it through this silly video with me. The housing market is going to crash. There is no doubt in my mind. It's 100% like orange juice from Florida. It's 100%. It's already in the books. What, you think that's cheesy? You put your head down. 100% like orange juice from Florida? Okay, whatever. I think it's pretty cool. You can do whatever you want. You want to buy real estate right now? Go ahead. You think it's a great time to buy? Do it. I have friends that are really positive. They're like, hey, Lowdown, did you see that credit card debt is way down? People are paying their debts off, man. People are taking this stuff serious. Like, really? People aren't doing that. Sure, people are paying down their credit cards. You know why? So they can try to get a mortgage on an overpriced home, because the amount of mortgage debt has skyrocketed. Which only makes sense because home prices have skyrocketed. And mind you, there's a difference between price and value. That's something really important that people need to understand. The home price went up. There was no value added. Like, even if there was value added, most of the time it's really superficial. It's, you know, okay, we painted the cabinets and we did some tile work, but it's all just surface. There's no real value. I got a brand new AC and a brand new roof. No. The only thing that happened, it skyrocketed by $100,000 in price, and there's no additional value. What improvements did you guys make to make it worth $100,000 more than it was 6 months ago? Well, actually, not much. My wife cut the weeds. Your wife cut the weeds? What? That's where we're at. If you think that's sustainable, then I do have some property I'd like to sell you. It's not. It's just not sustainable. If you or your family member, somebody you love, is considering buying, I would implore you, do your homework. If you decide it's the right time to buy, then great, good for you. I'm telling you, my prediction from this channel, we will start to see significant changes in home values by the second quarter of 2022. By the fourth quarter of 2022, things are going to be real serious. And by the second quarter of 2023, there will be an opportunity for people who have been saving their money, waiting for their chance to buy some really valuable real estate at discount prices you would not believe. That's what's coming. That's what the data shows. And that's where I'm at. So, I love you all. Make smart choices with your money. Make smart choices with your health. Make smart choices with your family. Until I see you next Sunday, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you again soon.